Now we come to cleaning bottles. So how do you get them clean? Our suggestion is to always start with new bottles. And what you do with new bottles is you usually get them delivered in a box and they come straight from the glassworks. So the only thing you need to do is rinse them with cold water. And hang them on your bottle tree. I always recommend using a bottle tree because it keeps the bottles upside down, allowing them to dry thoroughly. When the bottle dries completely, it won't get moldy, which is pretty important. So get yourself a bottle tree. It even looks nice in the living room, and that way you always have your bottles organized and easy to find. Another thing I'd recommend is a sanitizing tool, and you mount it up here on the top, just like this. Now, I'll demonstrate the process, showing you both before and after. I'm going to hang up 15 bottles, which I've finished rinsing thoroughly to make sure they're clean and free from any leftover residue. After that, I'll prepare a solution of Trisani Sanops. Let me double check the amount in this sanitizing tool. I'll show you how to use it to clean the bottles properly, making sure every pod is sanitized. And remember, every time you've had a beer and finished a bottle, it's important to clean it well before using it again, so your next brew stays fresh and safe. It's incredibly important to thoroughly rinse it right after use, ideally immediately. Because if you just leave it for a day or so, the yeast can settle at the bottom and then it's much harder to rinse off. So it's always a good idea to have your bottle tree standing by so you can quickly rinse your bottle and hang it up on the tree. The most important thing to avoid is simply mold. That's why it's so important to rinse your bottle thoroughly. Then you don't need all sorts of equipment. You just need to make sure to always keep your bottles properly maintained at all times, ensuring they are clean and ready for use. There. Now they're rinsed. That means if there was any dust or particles inside, it's now gone. So now I'm going to fill a solution of Trisani-san into our sanitizing tool, making sure to use the right amount as recommended. And then I'll show you how to do it step by step. But when you're working with cleaning agents, I would always recommend that you wear safety goggles and safety gloves before starting this process, as it is very important to protect both your eyes and your hands from any chemicals involved. Take your distribution tool. After that, I just pour the Trisani-san solution carefully into the container here. My recommendation is then that you take a moment to ensure everything is set up properly before moving on. First, you take your bottle and rinse it out a couple of times, making sure to swirl the water around thoroughly each time to help remove any residue or particles that might be left inside, like that. After rinsing, hang the bottle on the tree, allowing it to air dry naturally, which helps keep it clean and prevents any bacteria from growing. Then you place the bottle on the other side so you can always keep track of which bottles are clean and which ones have just been rinsed. This simple method makes it easy to stay organized and maintain good hygiene. As you can see, the process is pretty simple and quite easy to do, and with a little practice, it becomes second nature. And then, by using this method, you can always tell which bottles have just been rinsed and which have just been disinfected, making it easy to keep track. This way, you always know exactly what has just been rinsed and what has just been disinfected. So now, at this stage, you can be sure that the bottles have been rinsed off and are ready for the next step. After the Trisani-san solution, then they need to be thoroughly rinsed off with cold water and then they're ready to use.